like, how you so cool, how you so fly, how you so fresh, you ain't even gotta try. Y'all pump faking, I ain't even gotta lie. Hit 'em with the hits, game winner switch in.
Tonight's game is presented to you in parts by the Frankfurt Eagles, Post 976. They are people helping people. By Day and Ginda Funeral Home, proud supporters of high school athletics in Clinton and Carroll County. By the healthy communities of Clinton County, making the healthy choice the easy choice. By Mulberry Telecommunications, Mintel Fiber Optic Services offer the best gig in town. By the Farmers Bank, where you don't have to be a farmer to be a farmer. Let's grow. By the Willow Creek Barn, providing a picturesque setting for the barn wedding of your dreams. And by Tornado Roofing, specializing in residential and commercial roofing and repair.
Good evening and welcome to Carroll High School for the first game of a girls and boys doubleheader. First up on the girls side with the Rossville Hornets coming in with a record of 6-4, taking on the 15th ranked team in Class 1A, the Carroll Cougars, who are riding a 9-3 record. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to coverage of high school basketball on the IHSAA Sports Network. Our pregame show is brought to you by Healthy Communities of Clinton County, making the healthy choice the easy choice. Joined alongside by Jared Thomas, I am Rick Johnston, and a wonderful way to get things going into the holiday season. Students have been taking their finals all week. They're ready to let loose a little basketball doubleheader tonight.
That's definitely something that I feel as well. Did this type of doubleheader last year, same thing this year. It's just that time of the year. Right before that holiday lull starts to creep in, we have some great basketball at the 1A and 2A level.
You look at things for the Hornets, they're coming in 6-4. Carroll had to rebuild everything from the bottom up. That's what happens when you graduate 4,000 career points amongst your senior class from a year ago. As we jump into the keys to victory, brought to you by Mulberry Telecommunications. A lot of rebuilding on the side of things for Carroll, but they're pretty happy sitting at 9-3.
That's exactly right. When two of your best players go and play at the collegiate level, that shows you what is brewing for this program. But for the keys to the game, magic number 15, that's for the Lady Hornets. Each game this year, it's been about 20 turnovers. If they can limit that number to 15, and then for the offensive side of things, if they can make at least 15 shots in their losses, they've had only 10 made shots. If they can creep that number up to 15, I think they like their chances. Offense to defense, something that Coach Wiles talked about, more focus on this year with those two superstars gone from a year ago. Anytime they score, or even if they don't, it's the hustle and getting back on defense, get that defense set, and the losing woes. This is for both teams. For the Lady Hornets, losing their last 3, and for the Cougars, it's losing the last 2 out of 3. They had a win the other day against Mechaniqua on Tuesday night, and I know they're looking to keep that winning way going here tonight.
It could have gotten away from Carroll, won that game in overtime. They dominated the extra session after really playing behind for most of that game. Keys to the game, keys to victory brought to you by Mulberry Telecommunications. For the players to watch, we go with the top scorers for both teams here on the night. First up, for the Rossville Hornets, it all circles around Ava Burkle.
That's exactly right. 14 points, 18 rebounds, a key performance against Delphi Community to open this season. The junior averaging 16 points per game. They're going to need a massive effort from her tonight. And then Jillian Salt. She was a player a year ago that was depended upon for her role and starring in her role as a role player. Now she's the one that's front and center for everything that the Cougars do. And I know she's a complete player for what she does on offense and defense, as it's reflected in her statistics for this season. The junior, once again, going to be battling front and center for the Carroll Cougars.
So Burkle and Salt, circle that. Salt wears 11 for Carroll. Rossville, it's Rossville's Burkle wearing number 34. We'll step aside for the national anthem. When we come back, it's time to tip it off for the first game of our girls and boys doubleheader between Rossville and Carroll tonight on the IHSAA Sports Network.
If you haven't signed up for Mintel Fiber Optic Internet from Mulberry Telecommunications, then you're missing out. We have various packages to choose from and speeds up to a gig. Not to mention each package includes a Wi-Fi 6 wireless router and access to our Mintel Smart Home app, giving you complete control of your network backed by our award-winning customer service. Go ahead and dance till your heart's content in whatever reality you want, even if it's virtual. Mulberry Telecommunications offering the best gig in town. Sign up today at Mintel.net and experience the Mintel difference.
Back here at Carroll High School as we get ready to tip this one off tonight as they are introducing the starting lineups for both teams. Let's take a look at those starting lineups, and they're brought to you by our Dente Dental, where healthy smiles start here. First up, for the Hornets, you see them being introduced right now. Victoria Vanderwall, who averages about 3 points per ball game. Chloe Darnell, the 5'5 senior. She's coming off of a scoreless showing last time out against Tri-County. Number 24, 5'10 sophomore Allie Elliott. The 5'10 junior Ava Burkle, who's the leading scorer for the Hornets like we showcased a few moments ago. And number 42 is Avery Layton. She is a 5'9 senior. The lights go out, but for the Carroll Cougars, again, replacing 4,000 career points. Allie Harness is at Western Michigan now. Madison Wagner is at Trine. And these are the 5 for 6th-year head coach Brady Wiles. Number 3 is Emily Justice. She's a senior. Number 4, Maddie Isley, a freshman, and the youth movement is in full effect here for Carroll this year. Another youngster, number 10, Eliza Reinhardt, the junior leading scorer, like we showcased earlier. Jillian Saltz, number 11, does a little bit of everything, and in some cases a whole lot of everything for Carroll this year. And another senior in the starting lineup is Tegan Coveris. She's averaging about 6 points per game. So you have Justice averaging 10. We mentioned Saltz with the 15. For Carroll, they have been really dominant at home this year. They're 4-1, Jared. Rossville struggling on the road. They're just 2-3.
It's the turnovers for Rossville. They just, in their losses, they haven't been able to keep the ball in their possession. And that's really been a direct link to them and their inability to actually make shots. It's one thing to have the possession. It's another thing to have the possession, you give it away, and now you're down in the possession battle, in the differential. So that's something that we should pay attention to, everyone watching as well. If they can find a way to take care of the basketball, I think they're going to be in good position to at least make this game something in the later parts of it.
You look at Rossville, they have just one senior in their main rotation of players. You look at the other side for Carroll, they're young as well. So you get a lot of young players tonight. You've had a lot of stress, obviously, with finals all around for the last couple weeks. So a lot of folks are trying to breathe a breath of fresh air and try to get going here tonight.
You're exactly right, Rick. And the one thing that comes to mind when I look at the Carroll Lady Cougars, a style of play that they've actually had to revert to this year, is just the simple fact that they've played 12 games. Six of those games they've won by a margin of 10 or less. And in the 5 years prior to this season, with Coach Wiles at the helm, they've done that 18 times. You think about a statistic like that, what does that tell you? It just shows you that with 2 superstars removed now in the collegiate ranks, they've still found a way to do something that they've done more than this season than any other season in just those 6 wins. So it's going to be impressive to watch them tonight, especially when we talk about all the attention that those 2 stars got last year.
The officials for tonight's game brought to you by the Farmers Bank Let's Grow, Greg Finley, Justin Markley, and Rob Pruitt. Justin will be doing a double dip tonight as he's also working our boys game later this evening. So Rossville in the gray. They start with a shot from the left wing. A 3 from Chloe Darnell doesn't go. And now here's Carroll's first possession. They're in the white with Jillian Saltz running the point off the Tegan Coveris, whose 3 is right down the middle.
That has to feel good when you can not only take a rhythm dribble, but take a step into the shot with very little contest from the Lady Hornets.
Coveris had not attempted a 3 in the entire season until right there. So good things for 15 in white, and it's an early lead for the 15th ranked team in 1A. Block for Coveris on the shot attempt, trying to go up there for the Hornets by Victoria Vanderwall. Off the hands of Ava Burkle, but has had plenty of Carroll defenders hovering around her. Justice spotting for a 3, same spot that Coveris tried to, but can't find the bottom of the cup, and it stays at a 3-0 Carroll lead as Rossville looks for their first points here of the night, but the ball ripped out of the hands of Allie Elliott, and the held ball will send it back to the Cougars.
That turnover conversation already creeping in to the early seconds of this game for Rossville. That's been an Achilles heel. We've talked about it. We've beat that dead horse already, and they're showing when they turn that ball over how ineffective they can truly be.
Here's Schroeder, averaging about 2 points per game. Justice, the second leading scorer, gives off to Saltz, who paces Carroll with 15 tonight. Coveris has the only points of the ball game so far into the paint, trying to go up and under is Saltz, and she traveled. Good defense there by the shorter Vanderwall.
It's also important to note for the Lady Hornets, this is Coach Jacoby that's inherited this program just in her second season as head coach. A lot of success in the year before she took over as head coach, still trying to find her footing as this team's head coach, but also that influx of new players.
Tie up here with Eliza Reinhardt, one of the two starting freshmen for Carroll. This is a matchup of two schools that are separated by a 21-minute drive. About 12 or so turns separate Rossville and Carroll. You take State Road 26, a left on 75, a right on State Road 18 from Rossville to Carroll, boom, and you're there. So you got a bunch of folks on both sides of the ball tonight that know each other very well. 3 no good, in and out from the right wing from it looked to be Allie Elliott. A couple of good looks here for Rossville as of late, but they still trail 3-0 as Carroll's been stuck on this 3 points since their opening possession.
One thing the Carroll Cougars could do a year ago with Allie Harness was truly hound the opposing team's ball handlers. And that's just because of how prolific she was on the defensive end. Now with that not being the case, they do tend to just settle into the half court and allow that offense to come to them, betting that they can get stops and be stingy in that half court set.
You mentioned the turnover problems for Rossville. Carroll averages about 17 per game. They just threw that one into row 2. So they're really giving Rossville a couple of opportunities with their young folks. But a deflection right there near midcourt, and now Carroll on a 3-on-1 fast break. Good deflection there by the Hornet defense as it goes out of bounds. Burkle there deflecting the pass.
I'm sure someone watching this game currently is wondering, why do they continue to talk about turnovers? And it's very simple. As soon as you give the ball to the other team, you're now creating an extra possession from them and then taking one away from you. So then when you do the number comparison at the end of the game, if a team has 18, 20, 22, 25 extra possessions, that's a staggering statistic that does have to be focused on.
Foul down low on Elliott, first on either team here tonight. Saltz takes the entry pass. Her pass gets deflected three different times, and another turnover here by Carroll gives Rossville another opportunity to find their first points of the night.
Rick, the Cougars are making me look bad. I talked about the turnovers for the Lady Hornets, and it's the Cougars that are actually struggling with the turnover bug.
Number 22, Cadence Roby, has entered here for Rossville, 22 in gray. About 3 minutes in to the opening quarter, and the zone defense spreading out long and wide here for Carroll. Skip to the right side. Roby's 3 banked in off the window.
Just these first few possessions, the Hornets have gotten a few open looks. Roby actually able to get it to go down from 3-point distance.
Shot missed on the other end and hauled in down low by Rossville. Roby to the left side. This is Darnell's 3, halfway down and out. As the lefties 0 of 3 from distance to start. Only points for Carroll, 15 in white by Tegan Coverus on her first attempted 3 of the year. Burkle a step away from deflecting that pass and heading to the other end. Running shot, no good, down low by Reinhardt. And a held ball down low, alternating possession, keeps it here with Carroll.
The Hornets doing a nice job when that ball gets swung to the wing or even the corner. The help side defense truly getting into the middle of the paint, clogging everything up, preventing those dribble drives.
Saltz is yet to score tonight. To newcomer Maddie Isley, one of the freshmen, pull up, free throw line, just off target. And the defensive rebound is the property of Ava Burkle. Skips right side, shot off the front of the rim and snatched off the floor by Reinhardt. It was a low-scoring first quarter for Rossville against Tri-County last Saturday. They were down 7-5 at the end of the first quarter. They trailed 18-9 at the end of the first half, so more early scoring woes here for the Hornets. Bounce pass into traffic, out to the inbounder, Justice. A hair long and another weak side rebound here for Ava Burkle.
It seems like an underperformance when it comes to offense in this game thus far, but rewind a year ago, and these same Rossville Hornets only scored 4 points in the first quarter. They're already 75% of the way there, and that's just to give you kind of an understanding of what's going on defensively so far for both these ball clubs.
I'm glad you're handling the math tonight with the divisions and the fractions. That's you definitely your lane tonight, my friend.
At some point in time, I have to do something for the broadcast.
But you were doing more than enough. Tonight's game is brought to you by Frankfurt Eagles, number 976, serving the community since 1905 with over 900 members locally. Frankfurt Eagles offers something for everyone. For more information on who they are and what they do, visit f.o.e.com or stop by Frankfurt Eagles at 408 North Main Street in Frankfurt. That foul, the second one of the half on Jillian Saltz. So the top scorer for Carroll goes to the bench early as Berkeley able to make one of the 2 free throws. And that gives Rossville their first lead of the night at 4-3. Carroll head coach Brady Wiles said his team is going to have to figure out the zone defense of Rossville. They've not been able to break it yet. A 3 from Justice would have done that, but it's an 0-for-2 start for the guard.
That's someone that truly fires up a lot of three-pointers. Almost 58% of her shot attempts are from the three-point line. Although the Hornets play a zone defense, they're going to have to find Emily Justice.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Day and Genda Funeral Home. With locations in Frankfurt, Flora, Mulberry, and Rossville, the compassionate and experienced staff at Day and Genda Funeral Home are dedicated to providing a loving and genuine environment for you to honor your loved one. For more information on our services and community involvement, please visit dayandgenda.com. Day and Genda Funeral Homes, where we put family first. Another first quarter turnover here for Carroll. They come in 9-3, but as Jared mentioned off the top, they lost their last 2 games before defeating Mechaniqua out of Class 3A in overtime on Tuesday night. So their second game this week, Rossville's high arcing 3 is off the right side of the rim. And their 1-point lead still intact as Carroll tries to get back in the driver's seat.
If you're Coach Jacoba, you have to feel good for your Hornets ball club simply because a lot of the looks have just been misses. It's not been due to rigorous defense from the Cougars. At some point in time, those shots have to go down.
Cover has tried to get the second points of the night. Carroll has been scoreless for the better part of 6 minutes from that cover is 3 on the first possession of the game. Pass into traffic, knocked away a second time, and then a foul behind the play by Allie Elliott.
Eliza Reinhardt doing a nice job for the Cougars, digging down into the post. When that ball got into the paint, was able to get her hand on it, ultimately creating that turnover. Reinhardt being someone just the other night, 15 points in that Tuesday night win against Mechaniqua. Anytime anyone scores in the double figures in high school basketball, it's impressive just because of how short the quarters are.
Vanderwall almost poked the line. Big block on the outside by Burkle. Carroll able to keep the ball here. Reinhardt almost lost it in to the Rossville bench, and then she attacks across the lane. Draws a foul. Will be on the floor. And that's the second one against Rossville here in the quarter.
If the jump shot isn't falling, Basketball 101 says attack the rim. I'd like to see the Cougars get into the paint a little bit more instead of bailing the Hornets out with a bunch of jump shots.
Carroll still looking for their next hoop. The foul was on Allie Elliott. That's her third, so she goes to the bench for the final 90 seconds of the quarter. Roby straightaway 3, just a whisker long, but the offensive rebound will go out of bounds. Good box out there by the sophomore Vanderwall to keep it here with the Hornets.
Understanding that it was the Cougars that last touched that basketball before it jumped out of bounds. As you said, doing her best box out, fully extended from the rim.
Burkle has had somebody in her grill the entire time tonight, and Schroeder, they're drawing the assignment right now. Entry pass tapped away as Carroll has done everything they can except get off of this three-point mark. 3 no good from Schroeder, and another rebound for Burkle. She's got about 4 or 5 here in the first stanza. Burkle's yet to score tonight. She gives Rossville about 16 per game. Darnell dancing on the end line, able to get it off to Vanderwall. Runner off the glass, spinning it in, Cadence Roby.
5 of those points for the Hornets have come from Roby. The three-pointer she got to go down earlier in the quarter, and then the nice touch for the layup.
Justice called for a travel. She tried to split two Hornets underneath. And Rossville, who comes in at 6-4 on the year, looking really good here in quarter number one.
Love what I'm seeing from Olivia Schroeder, something that she did earlier this season against Clinton Central, and Carly Davison, their star player, following her around even to the bathroom. 26 points for Davison, but it came on 23 shots. And part of that was the effort from Schroeder on the defensive end there, as we saw her getting a hand in the passing lanes to tip that one out of bounds.
Rossville trying to work it in to Burkle, just cannot do so. And the clock stops with 11 seconds remaining here in the first. Here's Roby, right side, actually make that Darnell. Vanderwall with the offensive rebound with 6, has her pocket picked. Up to Reinhardt with 3, with 2. Reinhardt 2-on-1, and Carroll gets it off in time. Jillian Saltz comes back onto the floor, is able to get the bucket right before the end of the quarter. Another low-scoring first here for Rossville. This time, though, they have the lead. 6-5 over number 15, Carroll, here on the ISC Sports Network.
At Day and Ginda Funeral Home, we embrace change while staying true to timeless values. Our commitment to putting families first remains steadfast. With up-to-date practices and unwavering compassion, we offer the highest quality of service for your loved ones. Trust to serve your family with a classic commitment in modern times. Day and Ginda Funeral Home, putting family first.
Former WNBA star Katie Douglas Poe is now the owner of fitness franchises that help people get healthier and more active. And even though she comes from the world of elite athletics, Katie's favorite customers are the ones pursuing modest goals. We're proud to provide her with that same kind of personal support and individual attention to her finances, which is why, when it comes to her banking, Katie is a farmer. The Farmers Bank. Let's grow.
If you need quality work from a qualified company, then look no further than Tornado Roofing. We offer free estimates, financing, and even handle insurance claims. Give us a call at 765-670-6440 or visit tornadoroof.com for more information. Late bucket for Carroll gets them back to within 1 after they go the better part of the entire first quarter scoreless. Got the bucket their first time they touched the ball, then had nothing to the last possible second of quarter number 1. But another turnover here for Rossville, not how the Hornets wanted to start quarter number 2.
Something that we just saw a shift in their defense in that first quarter. The Cougars extending their defense into the front court, forcing the Hornets to play at a faster tempo.
Saltz straightaway 3 off to the left, and another defensive rebound for Burkle. She gets tied up. Good, smart play there by the youngster Reinhardt. And alternating possession keeps it here with Carroll because of Reinhardt's intuitiveness.
Exactly why she and Reinhardt is on the floor at the end of that first quarter. Forced the defender to commit before dropping it off to Saltz for the easy layup, and there forcing a tie-up into a jump ball.
Reinhardt misses it. Rebound by guess who? Burkle. And now it's Rossville that's stuck on the same number for a couple of minutes. Burkle tried to go through 3 different defenders, and our 2 officials have 2 different options. Now, the folks in the blue Santa hats don't like the overrule by the referee that had the better look at it. So it sticks here with Rossville. I don't know how mad you can get though wearing a Santa hat, really, during, when you're 5 days away from Christmas. But
it's all part of the holiday spirit.
3 left side, good for Ava Burkle.
That play was initiated by Burkle, getting the post up, forcing the defense to get on her hip, and then sliding out for the nice touch just inside that 3-point line.
Saltz attacks through 3, and she gets whistled for the double dribble after Cover has had the offensive board.
Some of those games I mentioned for the Hornets and the excessive amount of turnovers, it was the opposing team speeding them up, pressing them for the entirety of the game, and the Hornets not really being able to handle it. But in this one, Carroll elected to play more of a half-court defense, and I think that's allowed Rossville to establish themselves early on, which helps that confidence as the game goes on.
Burkle tried to thread the needle there from midcourt and threw her out of bounds, and so another opportunity here for Carroll. They're 9-3, 4-1 here at home, and ranked 15th in Class 1A. Justice hounded. Isley, one of the two freshmen that's seen a ton of minutes tonight, over to her classmate Reinhardt. Coveris bluffs the three, trying to find help. Isley, Justice, everybody focused on Saltz down low. Couldn't get it, and it's Burkle with another loose ball and picking it up here for the Hornets, this time on a steal. Darnell almost had her pocket pick, tied up as she and Reinhardt go tumbling down to the floor, and this time the possession error keeps it here with the Hornets.
The thought was there for Darnell, wanting to rip past that defender. The execution just not up to the same speed.
See 12 in gray. Autumn Pascal, the junior, on for the first time tonight for Rossville. They trailed 3-0 out of the gate. They lead 8-5 right here. Open down low, short shot, just dances off the rim from Roby, who had a 5-0 run by herself back in the first. Saltz gets away from a defender and lays it in and cuts the deficit to 1.
She just always seems to be in the right place at the right time, and in this ball game, it's been right by the rim.
Carroll with a steal, up to Saltz for the lead. Her shot was blocked. Isley's putback doesn't go. Trying to go up one more time, had a defender's arm tangled with her, and Isley to the line for 2.
Isley, in a game I've already mentioned, against Clinton Central, was the Farmers Bank player of the game. 16 points, making key shots and free throws. And if I had to guess, it was efforts like that to why she was recognized in what she was able to do against Clinton Central.
Pascal called for the foul, and Isley ties us at 8. First scoring for Maddie tonight. Formed almost 20 years ago, Healthy Communities of Clinton County remain committed to the community by offering programs geared toward a healthier tomorrow, with focus on overall health, mental health, substance abuse disorders, and reducing teen pregnancy. The goal is to make the healthy choice the easy choice. For more information, visit healthyclintoncounty.org. Isley on both, and Carroll gets their second lead of the night as their zone defense presses out towards midcourt, and after making 2 free throws, Isley puts her hand in the passing lane, gets the steal, and gets a blocking foul just shy of midcourt.
I said it was going to be offense to defense, but instead the Cougars have elected the opposite. It's the defense to offense so many times. Deflections, steals has catapulted them into their offensive sets.
Roby, the guilty party, trying to draw the charge on Isley. Here's Tristan Harder on for the first time, and that pass kicked away. Keep it here with Carroll. Harder, the third freshman to see the floor tonight for Carroll, and that's what head coach Brady Wiles told us earlier today. He said, we've had to rely on the youngsters, and he's got 3 of them playing significant minutes here tonight. One of the youngsters, Isley's 3, doesn't go. Weak side rebound is Saltz's.
I'm not totally sure if I buy Coach Wiles saying they're having to lean on the youngsters, because it's still a 7-man rotation, something that they did a year ago when they had 2 superstars at the senior level. But I think the sentiment was there ultimately. Just a lot more younger players, especially when Harness and Wagner aren't in uniform anymore.
Roby had the interception, and then she had her pocket picked. It went off of her knee. There comes Carroll back the other way after forcing another turnover here against Rossville. Reinhardt attacks. Isley surveys, stepping in front of the pass and intercepting it nicely are the Hornets, with Pascal with the thievery. Seems like every time Burkle dribbles tonight, she has been double teamed and gets bumped right out here near midcourt, so will stay here with Rossville.
You see Burkle expressing some of that frustration to her teammates, trying to encourage them to flash to her, knowing that the Cougars are double teaming her. She is the leader on the offensive end of things. Someone has to help her.
Top part of this trap is Saltz. Burkle into a screen, got into the gather, and a reach-in foul whistled against Tegan Coverus. So 2 quick fouls here against Carroll in the second quarter. It was on the floor. And that means Burkle will inbound from the baseline. Hoosier Heartland Conference matchup tonight. Rossville comes in 3-1 in conference play. Carroll tied for third. They're a half game back of their opponent tonight. Everybody trying to track down Sheridan, who's on a real heater here so far at the end of the calendar year 2024. Leighton's shot was blocked. Cougars go out and run, trying to build on their 1-point lead. Harder got into the body of Vanderwall, and she'll go to the line twice after the 2-on-2 crime.
The Cougars got into transition after the block against Leighton, but I like the thought from what I've seen from Burkle. It was all of the attention went to her, 3-point line extended, got it down to Leighton. Leighton just unable to convert.
First free throw long from Harder. Loves to be the first to welcome you to the Fiberhood. Mintel Fiber Optic Services offer super fast, reliable internet with gigabit speeds, streaming TV packages, and voice solutions. Sign up today at www.mintel.net. That's MINTEL.net, or call 765-296-2885 for more information. 0-for-2 trip at the line for Harder. But on the other end, the Cougars force a turnover and will get the ball back, but they still are leading by just 1.
Become about who can hold on to the basketball long enough to even get a look at the rim. So many deflections and tie-ups and jump balls have led to this low-scoring affair.
Double team knocked the ball out of Harder's hands. Her shot was rejected, picked up by Leighton. Another opportunity here for Rossville to get the lead back. Shot was deleted out of bounds by Coverus.
Completely erased. She started the game knocking one down from 3 and has continued to give her presence on the defensive end, swatting that one out of bounds.
Justice and Salt's back on for the Cougars. Ross has got to get it in quick. They do to Leighton as they trail by 1 with the ball. Threaded into Burkle, who knifes her way in for a lefty finish.
You can see why the Cougars do not want Burkle, left-hand dominant, to get to that strong hand. It's just too easy when she gets that close.
Puts Rossville back in front as Burkle has scored 5 points here in the quarter. Defensive foul, little hand check by Victoria Vanderwall of Rossville.
Coach Jacoby just hanging her head, understanding that any little contact could warrant a whistle from the officials, just trying to get her team to just remain within their shoes. Don't reach outside the framework of your body, committing those ticky-tack fouls.
Too strong by Salt's off the glass. Then Pascal has her pocket picked from behind. It stays here with Carroll. Schroeder almost found Saltz for a steal, but Saltz drains the long 2.
Saltz showing that range. A lot of her damage being done in the paint so far tonight. They're stepping out, showing the touch.
Attention all engaged couples, discover why the Willow Creek Barn has been voted the Knott's best of weddings for 4 years in a row. Nestled just outside Frankfort, Indiana, our venue offers stunning indoor and outdoor ceremony options with breathtaking photo opportunities. We provide the perfect backdrop for your dream barn wedding. To start planning your unforgettable day, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com. Timeout on the floor. It will be Rossville ball out of the stoppage here.
If there was ever anyone the Hornets needed to listen to, historically the Rossville community revered Jennifer Jacoby. Just maybe 1991 Indiana Miss Basketball, leading Purdue to 2 Big Ten regular conference championships, a 1994 tournament berth. And not to mention, she's been all over the collegiate ranks in coaching, as well as a coach at the high school level, Benton Central and Clinton Central as head coaches, now here at Rossville. If there's anyone that's going to turn this program into half of what she was as a player, she is the woman for the job.
She mentioned when we talked to her this week, I have a major obsession with the sport of basketball, and you could hear her smile when she said it when we talked to her on the phone. She loves being back near her hometown, in her community, and she is really happy with what the Hornets have been able to do this year, but she's in her happy place right here in a gym on a Friday night.
And it's easy when you've accomplished so many things like she has. People tend to listen because the pedigree is there.
Harder thought about a three, trying to thread it through the Rossville zone defense. She gets it back here on the left side. 100 seconds left to go before recess, and a low-scoring first half here from Carroll High School. Harder, catch and shoot three, scrapes the sky but doesn't bring 3 points, and another big-time rebound for Ava Burkle. Had her third double-double of the season last time out last Saturday, and she is knocking on the door of another double, at least a 10-plus rebound showing tonight. Layton down low, draws a shooting foul.
I love Layton getting the ball and immediately going up for the layup attempt, forcing the defense to slide underneath her way too quick, getting the foul, getting herself to the free throw line.
Fourth one on Carroll here in the second quarter. This one called against Tristan Harder. Layton too strong on the first one. Coming off of a really strong free throw shooting performance. Was 6 of 8 last Saturday in the win against Tri-County. Still an opportunity to tie the game here at 11. 5'9" senior does just that. First point of the night for Avery Layton, and we're tied at 11. Rossville back to the zone with Roby up top. Vanderwall in a good recovery as Isley operates in the corner. Saltz draws two, mid-range Jay Justice. Long, volleyballed around, out of bounds, and it's going back to the Hornets.
As much as the Hornets have been rotating to the top of the key to contest some of those passes from the Cougars, I love some of those others on the baseline finding themselves in the open voids, creating some offensive action toward that baseline where very little defensive attention is at.
Half-court trap almost resulted in another Rossville turnover. Three blocked from the left wing by Reinhardt on the attempt from Pascal. Reinhardt fires it all the way to the far corner, and Justice, who pirouettes around. And Burkle looks like she just picked up the foul on the dribble drive from Reinhardt.
Reinhardt doing a nice job coming off the bench, being an energizer bunny. Defense leading to offense. Sometimes these first two quarters, she has been the one to initiate the break, finding her other teammates, and now finding herself at the free throw line.
That's the fifth one on Rossville here in the second quarter, so 2 free throws for Reinhardt. Saltz exits. Remember, she's playing with 2 fouls that she picked up back in the first quarter, so she gets a little bit of a breather here as Olivia Schroeder on the floor here for Carroll.
As a coach like Brady Wiles, you understand your best player does have 2 fouls, but you also understand she leads your team in just about everything. Sometimes the presence is more important than the current situation in foul trouble.
Layton down low gets fouled after another defensive rebound for Burkle. And with the game tied at 11, it's become a free throw shooting contest here in the last couple of minutes. Avery Layton back to the line for a pair. Foul on Isley, her first.
It feels this style of play caters more to the Hornets, a team that wants to slow things down, understanding their strong suit isn't ball handling with as much attention as the Cougars have been giving Ava Burkle. But they've done a nice job sealing off defensive possessions with rebounds, getting into transition when it's there, and converting some free throws at the free throw line.
Carroll Knoll for the final shot. They trail by 1. Attacking, floating. Too strong off the window by Isley. She gets her own miss. As she tried to pass it out to the wing, she got fouled on the arm, and that'll send her back to the line. Second one on Autumn Pascal, the 5'1 junior. Isley 0 for 2. First one perfect, or 2 for 3 for 3, excuse me. She's the only Cougar to make a free throw tonight.
Isley may be a newcomer as a freshman on the hardwood, but her presence was felt on the same surface on the volleyball team, leading with 190 assists and 74 sets played. That's impressive for someone that level of responsibility isn't always allocated to.
You're saying that she's familiar, she's comfortable in this venue.
That's 100%.
This is her home away from home.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Different uniform, but she knows her way around the gym. 3 at the horn doesn't go for Emily Justice as Carroll tried to take the lead back at the break after a backcourt turnover by Rossville. We're right where we started. We're tied, this time at 12. As we head to halftime, you're watching high school girls basketball on the ISC Sports Network.
This holiday season, Mulberry Telecommunications invites you to bake all the Christmas cookies you can while watching your favorite holiday movies on Mintel TV. Go ahead and utilize the full power of your network's reliability and security as you shop online. And while we're on the topic of giving, more and more of the toys we love require Wi-Fi connectivity. However, you can rest assured that Mintel Fiber Services have plenty of bandwidth available with gigabit speeds so your loved ones can enjoy the full potential of the gifts you've given. From all of us at Mulberry Telecommunications, we say Merry Christmas.
Frankfurt Eagles 976 has bingo every Wednesday night. Early birds beginning at 6 p.m. and regular bingo starting at 7 p.m. Packets are $25 and includes every game you need to play. They also have Saturday bingo the first Saturday of every month, with early birds starting at 4 p.m. and regular bingo starting at 5 p.m. Big game payouts each game with 3 to 4 chances to win different jackpot games each day. Great for individuals or groups because everyone enjoys winning lots of money. You must be 18 years or older to play.
At Tornado Roofing, we provide a complete range of services defined by quality, innovation, and expertise. We offer free estimates, have financing available, and handle insurance claims. Tornado Roofing is more than a name. It's a family-owned and operated business known for its committed customer service and expectation of going beyond our clients' needs. Our work is backed by a customer satisfaction guarantee to provide you with peace of mind. For more information, visit tornadoroof.com or call 670-6440. At Tornado Roofing, we believe in putting a strong roof over your head.
Healthy Communities of Clinton County is committed to reduce the risk factors contributing to chronic disease, including health disparities by decreasing stigma and encouraging positive changes. HCCC is here for the community with systems of care navigators, insurance assistance, prenatal classes, mental health programs, substance use prevention, and more. To help make the healthy choice the easy choice, contact us at 659-6063 or through our website, healthyclintoncounty.org.
Mulberry Telecommunications would like to apologize this holiday season. You see, we may have made our fiber optic internet too fast and too reliable, which isn't really a problem for any of our members. However, we fear that once Santa stops at a home in a Mintel fiber hood for milk and cookies, and he finds out that he can binge watch and stream all of his holiday favorites over gigabit speeds with no buffering, well, the only thing slow this holiday season might just be Santa. For more information on our fiber internet packages or Mintel services, visit mintel.net.
Rossville led by 1 at the end of the first. Carroll able to tie it up at 12 here at the half in the first game of our girls and boys doubleheader today between Rossville and Carroll. Two schools separated by just about 16 miles, a 21-minute drive between the two schools here tonight. So Rossville took that lead after falling behind by 3 early. Carroll found a little bit of offensive rhythm there in the second quarter, but it's been a struggle to find the bottom of the cup for both teams tonight.
It starts at the top of the key with the errant passes that the defense has been able to either penetrate that passing lane or simply just take the ball away. And that's why there hasn't been any consistency on the offensive end for either team, and why exactly we're knotted up at 12.
This is the Day and Genda Funeral Home halftime show, putting family first. A lot of points left at the free throw line 4 misses in the first half for Carroll. That's got to be something that's been harped on in the halftime locker room.
It's something that in our game last week between Clinton Prairie and Delphi, they weren't able to take advantage of on the guys' side just a week ago, and it's the same story tonight. When you get to the free throw line, just to have the presence of mind to slow your mind down and knock them in is a lot easier said than done. But to your point, if Carroll can find a way to continue to get into the paint, knock those free throws down, and then couple that with their defense, they probably have a good chance to maybe create some separation.
Jared, you mentioned the turnover number being important for Rossville and your 3 keys, but Carroll's probably turning over more than they would have liked, particularly in the first half. That number was pretty high at times.
Well, that's the thing that comes to mind when you talk about the turnovers. It does create a possession for the other team, but then the other team has to then go and do something with it. And the Hornets haven't been able to do anything really, as you see the score tied at 12 with those turnovers from the Cougars. So if Carroll can take care of the basketball and, as I said, get into the paint, force some attention down below, and then get it out to some shooters, they could create some separation in the second half.
Tied at 12 at the break. You're watching high school girls basketball on ISC.
Welcome to the Willow Creek Barn, where nature's beauty meets rustic elegance. From the moment you arrive on the property, you'll notice every detail is finely crafted to provide you with the dream wedding you've always dreamt about. From carriage and trolley rides to breathtaking aerial views via our hot air balloon, the Willow Creek Barn offers unforgettable moments that will last you a lifetime. For more information about our packages and availability, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com.
Davis Comfort Solutions.
At Davis Comfort Solutions Heating and Cooling, the name says it all. Davis Comfort Solutions will keep you comfortable all season long with 2 locations, Fowler and Colfax. They service most of central Indiana.
We've got the air necessities, great service and efficiencies, bringing peace and comfort to your life.
DavisComfortSolutions.com.
Hey there, my name is Jake Query.
And I'm Derek Schultz.
And we are part of, actually, the entirety of, at least from an on-air standpoint, Query and Schultz on the ISC Sports Network. It's appropriately named. It's charitably award-winning. And Derek, now we venture into season number 5. Hard to believe.
5 of them. 5 of them. Can you believe it? 2 best buds, talking Colts, Pacers, Indiana sports, every Tuesday night, 7:30, ISC Sports Network, and on socials as well.
It is made possible, of course, by the people who watch and listen every single week. We are most appreciative. We look forward to season number 5.
Day and Ginda Funeral Home, proudly putting family first, strives to care and honor the families of Clinton and Carroll County in ways that share the loved one's story. In our effort to serve your family at the highest of quality, we have added our own crematories, one for your loved one and another crematory for your furry family members. Contact us for information on how we can serve your family. Day and Ginda Funeral Home, putting family first.
This is the Day and Genda Funeral Home halftime show. Now time for the first half highlights, brought to you by Mintel Fiber Fast halftime highlights. And Carroll got off on the right foot. Jared with Keegan Coveris, first 3-point attempt of the season. Pretty good way to get your first 3 of the year, too.
It's very much so in rhythm. Tegan able to get that one to fall, and probably one of the more highlights on that end for the Cougars was that 3 from Coveris.
Roby made the only 3 for Rossville in that first half. She also finished that 5 personal 5-0 run, but then the scoring started to dwindle there for Rossville. The turnover starting to pile up.
And if you're looking at the defensive game plan for both of these teams, I would say that both teams passed the test. They forced turnovers. They made it difficult for the other team to even get into the paint to score. Nothing was given up in an easy fashion. Now you just have to figure out a way on that other end of the floor to get some buckets to go your way.
Saw Jillian Saltz there. She had 6 first-half points to pace Carroll. Leading scorer on the year for Rossville, Ava Burkle, had 5 in the first half. And then Saltz with a nice long 2 to round out her first-half scoring. We'll take another break, and we'll come back with the second half of action here from Carroll High School. At the break, we're tied at 12 between the Hornets and the Cougars here on the ISC Sports Network.
At Mulberry Telecommunications, it doesn't matter whether you play from home, learn from home, or work from home. We have you covered with fiber-fast internet. Whether you video chat to stay connected with friends and family or operate a small business, you can do so with the reliability that Mulberry Telecommunications fiber internet provides. From streaming video to regular web surfing, the possibilities really are endless. And that's a reason for all of us to celebrate. Packages start at just $49.95. Visit Mintel.net to sign up today.
Former WNBA star Katie Douglas Poe is now the owner of fitness franchises that help people get healthier and more active. And even though she comes from the world of elite athletics, Katie's favorite customers are the ones pursuing modest goals. We're proud to provide her with that same kind of personal support and individual attention to her finances, which is why, when it comes to her banking, Katie is a farmer. The Farmers Bank. Let's grow.
Second half about to get underway from Carroll High School. They're tied with Rossville at 12. Jared, you see Carroll coming back out onto the floor here. What do you expect to see out of both teams here to put a bow on the Day Again to Funeral Home halftime show?
I look at Jillian Saltz, got into foul trouble early to start this basketball game, and I think she was playing a bit timid. Just understanding you don't want to pick up that third foul, but I look to her to be aggressive because a lot of the offense that does get produced for the Cougars goes through Saltz.
On the other side for Rossville, they had plenty of opportunities, a lot of good looks. They went 1 of 6 from 3. There were a couple as it could have gone down. This could have been a really different halftime scoreboard. What are your thoughts with Rossville here in half 2?
It has to be someone else's effort, sort of like Cadence Roby's in that first half, finding a way to maybe get a 3 to go down, get to the rim, knock some free throws down to alleviate some of that pressure off of Ava Burkle. You see the Cougars honing in on Burkle from the time she gets the ball all the way until she goes to the bench when there's a break in action. If someone else can step up, they can find themselves in a basketball game.
Emily Justice will start with Carroll here along with Eliza Reinhart as Carroll has the ball first. They're in the white and Rossville in the gray as our third quarter underway with the starters back on the floor for both teams with Saltz, Coveris, and Schroeder. And a three-point shot is good right off the jump here for Carroll.
Everything for a shooter like Emily Justice starts with rhythm. There we see jumping, bouncing on her toes, stepped into that one nicely. And for her first 3 to go down has to feel like a welcome sight.
She had missed all 3 of her attempts in the first half. Just the second made 3 for Carroll tonight. And right off the jump, Rossville wants to take a 30-second timeout after the Hornets give it away here on their brief first second half possession.
You call that gamesmanship from Coach Jacoby. Understanding cannot allow the Cougars to get going in the early seconds.
Dedicated to providing top-notch legal services to clients in Tippecanoe County and surrounding areas, call 838-8700 to schedule a free consultation today with Sandra Myers Law. So Rossville down by 3. It ties their biggest deficit of the night, which was, before that, 3-0 early on in our ball game here this evening.
It feels Coach Wiles encouraged his team to just play at a faster tempo. It's not that they executed poorly in the first half or that their effort wasn't there. I think they just have to pick things up in the effort category.
Roby gets the start here in the second half. Came off the bench in the first. There's the half-court trap once again for Carroll. Roby had 5 in the first half, steps into a 3, just a little bit off target left, and almost able to come down with the offensive rebound, and then Layton gets whistled for the reach-in foul after Schroeder had secured the board.
As the Hornets, if the Cougars are going to trap those shots that you just saw Roby get, 1, are going to be given to you, and 2, you have to capitalize and execute when you have it.
Just underway here in the third. Carroll with a Justice 3 takes the lead back here after being tied at the half. Burkle with a deflection out of play. Reinhart back out to Justice. Just missed her second 3 of the quarter. Tie up with Coveris. And the alternating possession will send it back over to the Hornets.
It's a nice job by Allie Elliott, battling down low with Coveris to get that rebound, force a tie-up, and get that possession swung in their favor.
Elliott finds a teammate wide open down low, and Darnell glasses it in.
Darnell, the beneficiary of that rotating press and trap from the Cougars, found herself in no man's land, which is wide open underneath the rim.
Justice too strong from the corner, out of bounds, going back to Rossville. First scoring of the night for Chloe Darnell. There are a couple of different options down there underneath the hoop for Allie Elliott.
But if we go back to that timeout taken by Coach Jacoby exactly a minute of game time ago, it was to stop that run, get your defense set, and allow your team to fight back. Even though they were only down 3, it feels like that was a huge decision by Coach Jacoby.
Tough turnover there for Darnell as Rossville had a player wide open on the backside of the play, just couldn't find her. Tried to reverse it and went out of bounds. Reinhardt swings it around the bend and then gets it back between the rings. Blocked from behind. Burkle swatted that shot away, and Darnell the beneficiary. Hornets out and running, looking for the lead. A 3-ball on the way is too strong, and it's rebounded by Saltz off the Burkle miss. Saltz wanted to go end to end. Dumping down, Coverus a little up and under, halfway down and out. Rebound tapped around before it's finally snatched away by Vanderwall. Stolen by Justice, waved the basket off as the foul's on the floor.
At some point in time, the statistical category of jump balls has to creep into relevance because it truly does just shift the momentum within a game, but also just possession to possession.
Ball almost bounced in the hands of Saltz, instead it's stolen by Rossville. Still down by one of the Hornets, trying to upset number 15 Carroll here tonight on the road. Pass deflected, stolen by Reinhardt, takes a tumble, ball's free. Vanderwall says, yep, I'll scoop that up. Out to Elliott for a 3 in the lead. It's off the bottom side of the rim. Vanderwall cleans it up, and her hard work is rewarded with 2 free throws.
That's exactly right, Rick. The hard work on both ends of the floor is being rewarded for Vanderwall, someone that takes a lot of pride in her defense and in her effort.
Second foul on Tegan Coverus. Vanderwall, the sophomore, to the line. And the first one is good. Not known for her free throw shooting, coming in just 6 of 16 this season.
One of her best games was at the start of the season against Delphi. It wasn't the 7 points that impressed me, but the 6 steals. Not something you see too often.
Rossville back in front, 16-15. Here with 5 and change left to go in the third. Zone for the Hornets. They've been in this zone the entire time. Saltz in the middle of it, bouncing to the corner nicely, steps in for the long 2. That's airball. Darnell with the rebound and runs the point for the Hornets. She wants to go wall to wall, and she motored her way in and got fouled going to the rack. Tonight's game is brought to you by Day and Genda Funeral Home, with locations in Frankfort, Flora, Mulberry, and Rossville. The compassionate and experienced staff at Day and Genda Funeral Home are dedicated to providing a loving and genuine environment for you to honor your loved one. For more information about our services and community involvement, please visit dayandgenda.com. Day and Genda Funeral Homes, where we put family first. One for 2 trip for Darnell, but an offensive putback is up and in. And it's a 4-point lead here for Rossville, their biggest lead of the night.
Controlling the tempo are the Hornets. Finding a way to affect the game on both ends, exactly why they have this 4-point lead in the third quarter.
Rossville tried to jump the passing lane with Darnell. Couldn't get the ball. Then Saltz got fed and got fouled by Burkle.
Carroll has to find a way to get into the paint, bailing the defense out by chucking a bunch of jump shots, but also not attacking the offensive glass. Those two things are intertwined. If they can get to the foul line by attacking the rim, they can slow that tempo down and potentially shift that momentum back in their favor.
Salt 71% from the line, knocks them both down and makes it a 1-possession game, with the Cougars of Carroll trailing by a deuce. Elliott out near midcourt, threw it into traffic. Vanderwall came out of the scrum with it as Rossville tries to build on the lead. Roby from the perimeter, corner 3 on the way, off the rim, and the defensive rebound is for Emily Justice. Out and running and laying it in is Coveris for her first second half scoring.
Coveris, a similar contributor like Maddie Isley, just finding a way to see what the need of the team is and fulfilling that as we see her getting the nice, easy finish.
Elliott falling down, tried to throw it off the back of Isley and missed her target and threw it out of bounds. And the Carroll defense, see Isley holding that right elbow a little bit and moving her right fingers, trying to get a little feeling back in there. But a quick 4-0 run for Carroll has them tied at 19. Just under 4 to go here in quarter 3. Reinhardt slips it through. Coveris, powerful rip through, and she gives Carroll the lead back.
Almost 7 points per game for Coveris. It's plays like that. Battling down low, the constant finishes at the rim.
Burkle storms her way in. Coveris tied her up, the held ball. Possession arrow going back to Carroll as the Cougars have really turned up the wick on the defensive end here.
Getting the Hornets to play at a faster tempo than they would necessarily like to do. As we've saw already in a 2-point game, the Hornets want to slow that tempo down, and Carroll finding a way to speed the game up.
Justice got into trouble, but Coveris dives on the floor head first, went between the legs of Vanderwall, and a timeout called by Brady Wiles. Great hustle by the senior Tegan Coveris.
Not just the effort to dive on the floor, but enough to also get the timeout in addition. It's a big-time play from Brady Wiles' crew, fighting themselves back into the game, feeling that momentum shifted that as we just spoke about just a few seconds ago.
If you need quality work from a qualified company, then look no further than Tornado Roofing. We offer free estimates, financing, and even handle insurance claims. Give us a call at 765-670-6440 or visit tornadoroof.com for more information. A quick 4-point lead for Rossville has evaporated here, thanks to a 6-0 run by the Cougars of Carroll. And it's all thanks to their stifling defense here in the last couple of minutes of quarter 3. No-look dish. Coveris off balance. Couldn't get the bounce. Elliott tried to tap it to herself, and then Saltz comes out of it to keep it here with the Cougars of Carroll. Reinhardt thought about a 3, almost threw it away as Vanderwall jumped into the passing lane. Saltz on the right edge. Double-teamed. Flings it cross court. Volleyball line and Isley. Saltz a long 3. Left her short. One-hand rebound, Coveris. Saltz shimmies her way through. Coveris thought about trying to get that second 3 of the night. But good defense as tapping the ball away and intercepting it was Ava Burkle. Then to boot, she draws a foul on Carroll.
No points to show for it, but Carroll with a nice offensive possession. Why? They created offensive rebounding into further offense, creating some more offensive possessions while still staying in that half court for the better part of this last minute.
Full court press by the Cougars. Rossville able to get it in to Cadence Roby. Poking at it, Justice, jarred it free, but Vanderwall to pick up the loose change. Fires in high to Burkle through a double team. The lefty's turnaround doesn't go. Offensive rebound. Rossville looks for a foul against Elliott that doesn't come. Leighton hauled in the miss. Able to get it out to Roby on the wing. Throws it off balance. Saved, and then in one fluid motion, Elliott caught it and then threw it off the knee of a defender.
Wonderful anticipation from Elliott, tracking that basketball, knowing it was going short, and then the resolve to then throw it off of Carroll, keeping that possession for her team.
Hornets have trailed by no more than 4 tonight. Burkle tied up as she and Reinhardt flex their muscles trying to rip the ball away from one another. Possession error keeps it here with the Hornets with 2:05 remaining in the third.
It does matter who gets launched off after a tie ball, a jump ball situation. That is a time for you to really grimace at the other team.
Burkle inbounds. She has yet to score here in the third. Cross-court pass. The sophomore Vanderwall has the ball in a string. Tried to throw it in, threw it too far for Leighton as Carroll was fronting the post.
Right idea for Vanderwall, just not putting enough air underneath that to give Layton an opportunity to come underneath it.
Carroll has outscored Rossville 9-7 in the third, and they lead by 2. Results way outside the arc. Isley attacks, pulls up just inside the free throw line, bounced off the back of the rim, and the foul going for the rebound called against Reinhardt, and that's the third one on her.
But that was Allie Elliott once again anticipating a funky bounce off of the rim and or the backboard, finding Reinhardt, boxing her out, and then attacking for the rebound.
Schroeder back on for Carroll. Pascal returns for Rossville. Justice right there on the catch, and she was able to get it deflected off the knees of Elliott. Great defense by Emily Justice. See the members of the Carroll boys varsity coaching staff. Their game against Rossville will come up after our girls game comes to a conclusion. Saltz fakes and drives, left her short, and then it gets deflected off of her knee by Burkle.
Someone for either of these teams has to be strong with the basketball, preventing any tie-ups or further deflections, depending on who wants to actually go win this game, because it's going to be in that part, that facet so far what we've seen. Too many tie-ups, too many deflections. It's just about being strong with the ball.
Foul called against Maddie Isley. That's the 5th one against Carroll here in the quarter, and that puts Rossville in the bonus with 1:06 remaining in the third. Isley bumped Elliott once, and then the second bump after she crossed the timeline is what drew the foul. Elliott, the best free throw shooter for the Hornets, makes the first.
Elliott hasn't been involved that much on this end of the floor tonight, but a capable scorer. Maybe those 2 free throws is something that can get her going for the remainder of this contest.
First 2 points of the night for Elliott, tie the game at 21 with 60 ticks of the clock remaining here in the third frame. Isley goes baseline, threads the needle, passing up a 3 was Schroeder. Student section for Carroll wanted covers to let that one fly. She did not. Isley rips. Nice mid-range jump shot is clean.
Heads up play from Isley. Pump fake the pass. Get into your dribble pull up. Watch it drop out of the bottom of the net.
Full court press, too tight a defense from Emily Justice. And more free throws coming for Rossville with another opportunity to tie, just like they did a few moments ago.
Your aggression early in the quarter is rewarded in the back part of the quarter. You force the Cougars into foul trouble, and now you can still slow that tempo down anytime they commit that foul with opportunities to get to the free throw line, cash in, and cut this deficit.
Pascal misses the first. That's her first missed free throw this season. Can't come in 2 for 2. Unable to get the second, trying to pick the pocket of Isley with 30 seconds remaining here in the third. Carroll's lead is still 2. And the ball deflected out of bounds by a Hornet defender. So Carroll can hold for the final shot if they would like. We're tied at 12 at halftime. Deflection goes right to Coverus, who bully balled her way to the rim but had too much on the shot. Rebound by Justice, just dances off the rim. Another offensive rebound for Carroll. And a foul is called down low against Rossville.
It's all in the extra possessions. A trend that was not alive in that first half has now shown itself in the second half. Those second, third, and fourth efforts for Carroll on the offensive glass.
Third on Pascal for the Hornets. Isley, Coverus. And now Justice. Time dwindling here with just 3 seconds. Coverus, tight defense, and left it short. And we go to the fourth. The 15th ranked Carroll Cougars leading Rossville by 2, 23-21. You're watching high school girls basketball on ISC.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
I brought you a present. A book.
Follow the adventures of the Ardente Dental team as they fight cavities, gum disease, and create beautiful, healthy smiles.
Inconceivable. Hello, my name is Dr. Snyder. You cause cavities. Prepare to die. Inconceivable.
To make your smile look straight and fine, our braces per month are just $1.99.
Inconceivable.
You keep using that word, I do not think it means what you think it means.
Have fun at Ardente Dental.
2-point lead for Carroll as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Big news for Rossville in the third. Their leading scorer, Ava Burkle, scoreless. They needed that change here in the fourth.
That's exactly right. Ava Burkle can get it going quick and in a hurry. And this one-score game that plays to the advantage of the Cougars. If you're the Hornets, you need a big offensive performance to close out this game in this fourth quarter.
Same 5 on the floor that ended it. Isley with the ball, the only non-starter out there for Carroll. Free throw line coverage, good contest from Burkle, and the defensive rebound is Allie Elliott's of Rossville. Hornets in gray, runner Vanderwall, short, and the miss is the property of Reinhardt. Carroll pushing the ball, trying to beat Rossville down to the other end before they can set up the zone. Runner doesn't drop for Reinhardt, and another defensive rebound for Elliott. Through the zone and a quick foul, less than a minute in against Carroll.
Carroll just has to remain solid on the defensive end. They don't have to reach. They don't have to overcommit. Just keep everything in front of you. Live with the results. So far, they've just been getting too handsy on this side of things.
3-point shot good for Rossville, and they take a 1-point lead. Good start to the fourth for the Hornets.
I believe that's their first three-pointer since Roby got one to go down in that first quarter.
Trying to answer with the three is Justice. She can't get it to go, and another defensive rebound for Layton. It's been 3 one-and-dones for Carroll here the first 3 times they've touched the ball.
It's so important when you're playing with effort, when you're playing with tenacity on defense, to finish the possession with a rebound.
Another cheap reach-in foul all the way out near midcourt. Reinhardt, and that's her 4th. Deflected out there by Burkle. Stays here with the Hornets. They've regained a 1-point lead. They led by 4 in that third quarter before a big 6-0 run by Carroll. As Burkle has it all the way out near midcourt. She has not scored here in the second half. 3 from the left side is good, right in front of the Rossville bench.
When the first one goes down, very little contest. It's no question you let that one fly if you're Allie Elliott. 2 for 2 in back-to-back possessions.
So Elliott comes out smoking here in the fourth. Was 0 for 4 last Saturday against against Tri-County. But an offensive foul here against Carroll, or a traveling violation against the Cougars, excuse me. We'll send it back here to Rossville. There is a defensive foul against Carroll, and that's the 4th one on Isley. So she and Reinhardt have 4 fouls apiece, and there are 3 against Carroll, less than 2 minutes gone here in the 4th.
Allie Elliott, part of that crew that are now sophomores that got so much experience as freshmen last year on a team that goes 14-11. Victoria Vanderwall is another one. Cadence Roby is another one. Allie Elliott. It's an important pocket of players for Coach Jacoby, understanding that they're young, but they're also gaining experience, and it's showing in games like this.
Vanderwall hounding everybody in white that's got the ball outside the arc. Reinhardt spins, and she was fouled on the way to the cup. 2 free throws coming. Foul against Burkle, her third, team's first. And the first free throw for Reinhardt, good. We want to thank our friends at Healthy Communities of Clinton County, where recovery is possible. If you or someone you love is struggling with addiction, reach out to Healthy Communities at 659-6063 or at www.healthyclintoncounty.org. So Reinhardt makes both free throws. Those are her first points on the night. After taking the 2 blows from the Elliott threes, Carroll's got the ball, the game back down to 2 points. And they turn up the full court pressure once again. And they get the steal with Schroeder in the backcourt. Tried to go right at Burkle. Had Justice open out front, but the pass a little bit off target. And then Burkle steps in, gets the steal, and then gets fouled.
Part of what Coach Wiles talked to us about early in the week was changing that defensive identity. Something that they did really well a season ago. Something they didn't have to think about. But that defensive identity from a year ago was to press, get up into the grill of the opposing team. Not doing it as much this year, but when I watch the Hornets of Rossville, where they struggle the most is that pressure. So it's no question and it's no surprise to see them force a tie-up, a scrum, a loose ball by extending that defensive pressure.
Timeout on the floor. Didn't see who called the timeout, but it'll be of the full variety here. It'll be timeout for Rossville. That's a full timeout. That leaves them with 2. Attention all engaged couples. Discover why the Willow Creek Barn has been voted the Knott's best of weddings for 4 years in a row. Nestled just outside Frankfort, Indiana, our venue offers stunning indoor and outdoor ceremony options with breathtaking photo opportunities. We provide the perfect backdrop for your dream barn wedding. To start planning your unforgettable day, visit thewillowcreekbarn.com. Other thing to note here with 5:16 left to play from Carroll High School, the Cougars have already been called for 4 fouls already here in the stanza. Next one will put Rossville in the bonus for the rest of the game.
And you could argue those 4 fouls were unnecessary. Trying to get your hands in the cookie jar, and unfortunately each time the hand got stuck in the cookie jar. And Rossville has been able to take advantage of that exactly, and that's exactly why they're up by 2.
I hate it when that happens. It's just the worst. It is just, it ruins your whole day
because
or night.
Ultimately, you think you're going to get away with it.
Yes.
Middle of the night, 1 cookie can't hurt.
An over and back violation hurts Rossville here as they were trying to see if Carroll was going to commit that 5th foul. And Reinhardt, who checks in with her 4 fouls, back in and gives Schroeder a breather. Carroll led by as many as 4. Justice in the corner. Deflected out of bounds. Keeps it here with Carroll. Carroll with an opportunity to tie or take the lead. Covers, who had her first 3 of the year to get the scoring going. Free throw line jumper would have tied it from Isley. Ball tapped around, and it's Reinhardt, the freshman, ripping the ball away to keep it here with the Cougars. She wheels all the way around. A Euro step doesn't go. Burkle trying to tap it to herself. Instead, it Salts, with Carroll able to re-engage once again. But a timeout called by Brady Wiles, the Carroll head coach. And it'll be 30 or a full. He's got 4 timeouts left. It'll be a full timeout, so we will keep it here. As Rossville again leading by 2. It's a Carroll ball here with 4.5 to go in the fourth. Let us be the first to welcome you to the Fiber Hood. Mintel Fiber Optic Services offer super fast, reliable internet with gigabit speeds, streaming TV packages, and voice solutions. Sign up today at www.mintel.net. That's MINTEL.net, or call 765-296-2885 for more information. Jillian Saltz leading the way right now for Carroll with 8 points. Tegan Coveris has got 7 to pace Carroll. Isley with 5, but she's playing with those 4 personal fouls. Elliott pacing the way for Rossville and the game with 8. Carroll out of the timeout. Lead from the corner. 3-point shot doesn't go for Emily Justice. Rebounded by Elliott, who scampers up the floor. Ripping and driving, Pascal, short floater, too much on the float game. And the rebound is Coveris's as Carroll once again tries to tie or find the lead again. Rossville stretching out that 2-3 zone to the widest it's been all night. Justice from the right side this time, right into the arms of Abby Elliott. 2 big threes from Elliott here in the fourth that put Rossville in front. Spun into a double team, and right before she lost it, wisely, a timeout is called by her head coach, Jennifer Jacoby.
Wisely is exactly right, Rick, solely because this game in the waning seconds, waning minutes has become a possession game, which plays to the part and the strengths of head coaches understanding when their teams are in trouble. Timely timeouts in the second half could be the key to determine who becomes victorious.
3 timeouts, I should say, left for the Hornets. They have all 3 fulls. For Carroll, they have a 30 and 2 fulls. 2-point lead for Rossville. Again, back-to-back threes to start this fourth quarter off by Abby Elliott are the difference right now for Rossville. They're trying to snap a decent-sized losing streak after starting off the year 6-1. Lost 3 in a row, trying to change that tonight against their county rivals. Into traffic, Burkle's shot blocked out of bounds with Saltz meeting her at the summit. Pascal to get it in. Nice job by Burkle to use her height. She attacks, got into the defender, and Burkle to the line for free throws.
It's not always pretty, but sometimes it is your best player putting her head down, forcing a whistle from the official, making life easy for everyone in the gray and red, getting to the free throw line.
Burkle, the leading scorer on the year for Rossville with 16 points per game, gets her first second half scoring with 3:44 left to play.
16 a game, only a sophomore. And if her career is going to be indicative of what she showed last year against Faith Christian when she dropped 28, I think she's going to have a great career for Coach Jacoby and the Hornets.
2 big free throws there from Burkle. That foul by Carroll, by the way, was their 5th, as you can see on the screen. So just about half of the fourth quarter left to go. Rossville's in the bonus. And they lead by a game-high tying 4. Saltz knifes her way in, just did everything except get the bucket as Burkle knocking on the door of another double-figure rebounding game. Double teamed, has already used the dribble, and Coach Jacoby comes in and gets that timeout just in the nick of time. Elliott threw the ball before Burkle was ready for it. She caught it, and then disaster really started to rear its ugly head.
You see why Coach Jennifer Jacoby scored 2,344 points, not to mention averaging almost 34 points per game and dishing out 11 assists in her playing day. She understands how to dish it out to her teammates, but also in full control as a head coach.
As the kids would say, she could go back when she played. She could go.
Bucket.
Bucket, a walking bucket. So Rossville trying to pick up a big win here. Again, 3-1 in the conference. They lost to Sheridan, who's been the class of the Hoosier Heartland Conference here so far as we near the end of the calendar year 2024. Carroll 15th in the state in Class 1A. They're 9-3. Again, they lost two wonderful players to graduation in Allie Harness, who's at Western Michigan now, and Madison Wagner, who is at Trine. They combined to score over 3,500 points in their high school careers, but Carroll has done a really nice job. They're 9-3, but their offense, they've scored just 2 points as they quickly double-team Burkle. And was stolen by Saltz, end to the other end, and she's home free for a right-hand finish.
That's someone in Saltz who was around for all of the fireworks that was produced by Wagner and Harness in their high school career, doing a nice job transitioning in the full court for the layup.
After Saltz becomes our first double-figure scorer of the night, the 5'9" senior Avery Layton, who didn't play a year ago, but came back out for the team this year. Rossville head coach Jennifer Jacoby applauded her for her ability to be so dominant inside. She shows it off there. She draws the 5th and final foul on Eliza Reinhardt. One more to come for Avery Layton.
It's one thing to not play for a year. It's another to sit out and come back and find a way to help your team win. It's truly impressive from Layton.
Hit the front rim and gets the bounce. All 3 of Layton's points have been from the free throw line tonight. And the lead grows to 3 here for Rossville. IHSAA will have to run the point for the rest of this game with Reinhardt on the bench with her 5 fouls. Saltz just inside the line. Almost threw it behind Schroeder, able to gather it back in. The Carroll students trying to will a 3. They'll take a long 2 from Justice. Off the glass, rebound, putback doesn't go, but Isley was fouled.
Isley has just found a way into all the open crevices on both ends of the floor, getting to the free throw line. Someone that just finds the need of the team and gets it done.
Tough miss from the line there for Isley, who had been 3 for 4 before that first miss. And she misses both. And Burkle has to go off her hand. She's a little bit off balance, trying to tap it to herself. Instead, it went out of bounds. And so Carroll with another opportunity here to cut into the 3-point hole.
Burkle off balance due to her and Jillian Saltz battling it out down low. I think Jillian got the best of her on that one.
They go right back at it here. Saltz gives it up to Justice. To Saltz back in the corner. Carroll led by 2 heading into the 4th quarter here, but Elliott's 2 threes have put Rossville in the driver's seat, and Carroll gives it away on a possession they really needed some points to come out of. Through the hands of Pascal as Burkle tried to get rid of it before the double team collapsed on her. And timeout on the floor here for Carroll. It will be a full timeout. So Carroll's got 2 timeouts left. Rossville also with 2 timeouts left. It'll be Carroll ball coming out of the stoppage as they trail 30-27. They're 4-1 on the home floor this year. Rossville is 2-3 on the road, but the Hornets trying to pick up a really monumental win here to knock off number 15 Carroll heading into the Christmas break.
3 losses in a row. You have an opportunity to win one. You see why Coach Jacoby is so demonstrative on the sideline. At the end of games, when it's closing time, it's being smart, playing the game mentally that gets you over that hump, not just to win a basketball game, but in this 3-game skid that they've been on, gets you over that hump psychologically.
Three-point hole for Carroll. They will have it in the backcourt as Emily Justice will deal it in, and Saltz will run the show. 2-3 zone for Rossville. Saltz slices her way right through it, and she makes it a 1-point deficit. Salt's with an aggressive move. Elliott floating it up to Vanderwall, who attacks. Elliott, 2 threes in the quarter. Give her 3 as that one scraped the sky.
A noon ball. If we were on the gridiron, I would say that was a deep one on a post or a go route. But instead, that's Elliott knocking it down from three-point land, her 3rd of the half.
She's made all of her attempts here in the half. And all 3 have come here in the 4th, and all have been monumental. The first 2 gave Rossville the lead, off the window by Isley, rebounded by Pascal. A minute and change left to go in the 4th, and here's the red-hot Allie Elliott. And down low, Layton, and she got bumped right on the catch by it looked to be Schroeder.
Massive shots, as you said, Rick, monumental. That second 3 she hit increased the lead to 4. This lead increases that lead back to 4. That's a heavyweight slugfest we have going on, and some bullseye shooting from Allie Elliott.
Layton missing the first. Schroeder the guilty party for Carroll. And like Layton's done all night, she splits the pair. 4 of 8 from the stripe. And the lead grows to 5 here for Rossville. Carroll needs some buckets here as Saltz weaves. Long 2, shot deleted by Burkle.
Burkle doing a phenomenal job rotating on the backside of that zone defense all the way out to the three-point line, getting her hand on it. It's the effort on this end of the floor that has really kept this lead extended like it has been for the Hornets.
Isley drives and gets fouled. Clock stops at 47 and a 10th of a second remaining. Carroll has made just 2 threes here all night. They come in shooting just 26% from beyond the arc. So a 5-point hold, not what the Cougars wanted to see, and they could really use both free throws here from Isley.
But I will say this, if this is the appetizer for what we're going to see in the next game of this doubleheader matchup, I feel like we are in for a treat because this one has been excellent.
Fouls on Allie Elliott. That's her 4th. Remember, she's had all 3 of the big threes here in the 4th quarter for Rossville. Isley makes them both. That moves her up to 7 points on the night. And it is a 3-point ball game. And with Rossville already in the bonus, Vanderwall foul, and she'll make the long trek to the other end.
Under a minute to go for the Hornets. This game becomes about less dribbling, more passing, and made free throws. This is how you extend your lead that you've built and you've worked hard to get to. Now you have to maintain it, create some separation, and walk out of here with a win.
Vanderwall, the sophomore, makes the first after being fouled by Briley Springer, who came in making her first appearance of the night. Vanderwall, 3 trips to the line tonight. And misses her first one of the night on the 4th try. So a 4-point game with 40 seconds left. Carroll with 2 timeouts if they want them. Saltz kicks out to Isley against the 2-3 zone of Rossville. Justice, who has one of the 2 threes on the night for Carroll, passes up a 3. Schroeder, time dwindling, almost intercepted by the Hornets. Saltz from straight away. Goes out of bounds. Was it deflected? No, it wasn't. And Rossville gets it back with just less than 24 seconds left.
Just not something that Carroll does as effectively anymore. Their 3-point shooting. Their 2 bullseye shooters are now at the collegiate ranks. And as you said, only 2 threes attempted tonight. That one being the 3rd. It's just not something that they've done really well.
Roby's inbound deflected out as Rossville's doing everything they can to get the ball in the hands of Ava Burkle, their best player. Isley back on the floor, replacing Harder for Carroll as the Cougars go to the full court press, down 4. Burkle, nice pass to Roby. Steps across, knocked away from behind, and Saltz picks it up for Carroll. Down by 4 with 13 seconds left. Schroeder bounces to Isley. She got hammered hard. And that stops the clock with 10.5 seconds. Isley back to the line with Carroll down 4.
Playing all the way to the end when that clock hits 00. It's not over until the fat lady sings, and she has not sung that song yet. And I love the effort from the Cougars continuing to fight to the end.
Isley just made 2 free throws. She makes the third. She tries to make it a 2-point game here. Isley tonight is 6 of 9 from the stripe. And it hit every part of the rim, but she's 7 for 10. Full court press put on by Carroll. They lob it forward to Elliott. Now she's home free to the other end. Gets fouled by Coverus right before she could deal it off to a teammate. But 3 precious seconds come off the scoreboard.
That was easy. In the ball where they ain't. They were not in the backcourt. And that's exactly why Allie Elliott has a chance to increase this 2-point lead.
No one that Rossville would want to have at the line more. She's their only double-figure scorer tonight, and she's also happens to be their best free throw shooter on the season. 5'10" sophomore, started every game as a freshman a year ago, misses the second. Still a 3-point game. Up the floor, Saltz lets her go, and it was waved off because Carroll head coach Brady Wiles took a timeout. And the size or groans, depending on what side and what color you're wearing tonight, depends your reaction to that Saltz 3 that spun around and then spun out. 1 timeout left for Carroll with 4 seconds remaining in the fourth. That missed free throw by Allie Elliott, her first misstep here of the fourth quarter, as she has scored 10 of her 12 points here in the fourth. But that missed free throw, and now Rossville's got to really turn up the defense here, leading by just 3.
Situational awareness for the Hornets, understanding up 3, can't give a wide open look from the 3-point line. Run Carroll off of that 3-point line. Don't commit any ticky-tack fouls. Live to fight another day. Don't foul the 3-point shooter.
So it's Justice, Isley, Saltz, Coverus, and Schroeder, the 5 starters for the 5 starters on the floor. Again, Carroll not a great 3-point shooting team coming in. Off-ball screen, Isley with 4. Far side Justice, her 3 blocked by Burkle. The ball's loose, and Rossville upsets number 15 Carroll, winning 36-33 tonight here on the road.
Or you could just block the final attempt from 3-point land. Ava Burkle has been synonymous with block shots tonight. How many times did we see her, just like on that last play, being a factor on the defensive end for the Hornets?
Welcome into the Willow Creek Barn post-game show where nature's beauty meets rustic elegance, and a big fourth quarter tonight for Rossville as they outscore Carroll 15-10 in the fourth, and 10 of those 15 points came by one young lady in Allie Elliott. All 3 of her threes, Jared, came in the fourth, and they were monumental every time they went in.
That's exactly right. She found a way to contribute, and it just so happened that her contribution came at a pivotal point in this second half, which ultimately got her team over the hump. A complete team effort. If you're the Hornets, if you're Coach Jennifer Jacoby, this is the type of game that you wanted to win. You muddy it up with your zone defense. You find a way to do just enough on offense. And then when it mattered most, it was Allie Elliott from the 3-point line that truly created that lead, iced the game with her last free throw, 1 of 2, and then Ava Burkle at the end with that block.
The Frankfurt Eagles player of the game is Ava Burkle. You see the 1 block, but the second one, and a scream to the rafters for 34 in gray, and she a key cog in helping Rossville win tonight, as she is the Frankfurt Eagles player of the game. Burkle held below her season average of scoring by 9. She finished with just 7, but she had double-figure rebounds and those 2 big blocks, including the one that seals the game Burkle, the player of the game tonight.
Part of the reason I love basketball so much, some things don't show up in the stat book, and her effort on both ends of the floor is one of those things that won't show up, but I know is felt by her Hornet teammates.
Big fourth quarter as Rossville comes in and upsets number 15 Carroll tonight by a final of 36-33 to snap their 3-game losing streak. Special thanks to our producer Elijah Mash. Graphics was by Sam Waugh, and our camera operator was by Tony Stewart. Not that Tony Stewart, the other Tony Stewart. For Jared Thomas, my name is Rick Johnston. We're back in about 20 minutes for the second half of our girls and boys basketball doubleheader with Rossville and Carroll warming up on the floor right in front of you. This has been a presentation of high school girls basketball on the ISC Sports Network.
Tonight's game is presented to you in parts by the Frankfurt Eagles. Post 976, they are people helping people. By Day and Ginda Funeral Home, proud supporters of high school athletics in Clinton and Carroll County. By the healthy communities of Clinton County, making the healthy choice the easy choice. By Mulberry Telecommunications, Mintel Fiber Optic Services offer the best gig in town. By the Farmers Bank, where you don't have to be a farmer to be a farmer. Let's grow. By the Willow Creek Barn, providing a picturesque setting for the barn wedding of your dreams. And by Tornado Roofing, specializing in residential and commercial roofing and repair.
Mulberry Telecommunications would like to apologize this holiday season. You see, we may have made our fiber optic internet too fast and too reliable, which isn't really a problem for any of our members. However, we fear that once Santa stops at a home in a Mintel fiberhood for milk and cookies, and he finds out that he can binge watch and stream all of his holiday favorites over gigabit speeds with no buffering, well, the only thing slow this holiday season might just be Santa. For more information,